Research and innovation in futuris.
I was working and felt completely exhausted. I just couldn't breathe and was suffocating. I was taken to a clinic.
We moved from the countryside to this apartment. My husband suffers from Parkinson's. We can't go out that often, but we still try to be active. My mother started losing the keys, her bag. She forgets names and skills, all these things.
Europe is aging, and as people live longer, they are fighting diseases while maintaining a quality of life. The latest technological tools are helping them sustain their health while staying at home. That is because a helping hand is now just a few clicks away. Cadiz in southern Spain, and it's here that 69-year-old Antonio lives. He suffers from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. His respiratory system can narrow so much that he starts to suffocate. Every day Antonio answers on a tablet different questions about his health and records sounds from his respiratory system. The aim is to prevent and deal with an eventual respiratory crisis without Antonio being taken to hospital.
Being taken to casualty is mad. I waste a couple of days there having radiography and blood tests. What for? I have already had radiography thousands of times, and I'm running dry of blood. They know what my disease is, so this computer tells my doctor if a crisis is about to start. He can advise me what to do. It's like having a doctor at home.
Daily data is sent online to the hospital. Each patient has a figure for their average health state. Their daily answers and sounds make that number increase or decrease. If it increases radically, doctors will intervene. A new crisis can be about to start.
In future, we'll be able to predict the start of a crisis. We'll adopt tailor-made treatment that we'll send online or over the phone to the patient, who'll be able to take care of himself better without necessarily having to go to hospital.
The same system has been tested with older, more dependent patients in a retirement home, also in Cadiz, in this case with the help of social workers.
When patients don't breathe normally, even if it's not a huge crisis, they think they're about to die. They panic and suffer from anxiety and depression. This system provides them with more security.
Both the software and hardware were developed by scientists at a European Union research project. The different prototypes evolved over time to include scientific advances and took into account the preferences of the final users when it came to adjust the shape or interfaces of the devices. First test results are promising, says the project's coordinator.
When a respiratory crisis strikes a patient, they could spend up to 45 days in hospital. This system cuts that hospital time in half. That is more time that they spend at home and not in hospital. And that is a huge boost to their quality of life.
The problem is different in northern Sweden. Researchers are finding ways to prevent social isolation. In this couple's living room, when these prototype curtains turn green, it tells them a new email has arrived. Red means a reply is needed urgently. A special platform with facial recognition software has been developed to identify the user's mood, whether they feel happy, stable or sad. The information is automatically sent to social and family networks.
This platform has helped me to be much more active socially. New technologies and social networks, and not just for younger generations. We elderly people can also take advantage of the huge possibilities.
Irma and her husband are often invited to focus groups to hear about new devices like these spheres. The colours remind older people to get in touch with family, friends or social workers online or on the phone. It's an easy way to break their feeling of isolation that can cause depression and anxiety.
you will still respond to the fact that it's going dark outside, and you will still know that that means that it's night time, even if you lose the ability to read a digital clock, which some old people will. So it's that kind of approach. The idea is that by changing something in the environment, you can make somebody aware that they need to respond in a certain way. This kind of media, they don't say what the content is. They don't say who's trying to reach you. They don't say what the appointment is you've missed. They don't say what the emergency is.
Close to downtown Barcelona, 82-year-old Victoria, who's been suffering from mixed dementia since 2005, lives. She has, for instance, forgotten many of her cooking skills and often finds herself disorientated. Together with her daughter, her principal carer, they have volunteered to test an online platform aimed at informing her doctors how she is each day.
Hemos estado más en contacto con el equipo que la lleva.
These exercises have helped her to structure her days, and they've allowed us to stay in a closer contact with her doctors. So we do the gym exercises, the music exercises, and very often the memory games. All this depends on her mood. Sometimes when she's tired, we prefer music than memory games, but the whole computer platform has been quite useful for her.
I'd want to say something. Every day I go to their house. Oh, I just forgot what I wanted to say.
Data from the exercises is then analysed by the patient's clinical team. They can make live checks on how the patient is doing and answer the carer's questions, doubts or anxieties.
We can check if the principal carer feels overwhelmed, or if she needs some help, or if she's doing okay, and we don't need to intervene. With the patients, we can check the blood pressure, mobility, cognitive levels, and if they feel more or less disorientated.
Geriatricians consider the platform a great advance for dementia sufferers, as long as it does not replace the face-to-face consultations.
I don't want these devices to dehumanise the relationship we have with the patients. I don't want them to become just a number, a word on a computer page. But I think these technologies are really effective indeed in helping us to know more about our patients, staying in touch with them more often and providing them with a more accurate response to their needs.
And some new online users say they are finding the computer a useful tool to enjoy, while also learning to know more about themselves.
Man ser mig inte, jag är bra. Så hon är ju fortfarande mycket yngre än mig.
The sky's always blue when I go fishing, and that's not good luck. Now I first check the weather online. Before, I didn't drink enough water. The computer said it was dangerous not to, so now I drink much more.
When I have no time for the computer, my daughter calls and asks me what I had for lunch. Usually I don't remember. So first I go to the kitchen, check to see what I had, and then tell her. I cheat. Cheating on the computer is far more difficult.